Hey guys, welcome back. So this is the vlog that I know everyone has been waiting for. In this vlog, I'm going to detail pretty much everything that happened during my first week post-op after having a plus-size tummy tuck, back lift, and Lipo 360. Okay? Now, but before I get into the details, I'm going to do a quick photo dump of all of the clips and things on my phone during that first week that I didn't get a chance to post yet. So check it out. And one disclaimer before we get started, you're going to notice that my skin is still peeling under here. So I don't want you to be like, what is that? Is that hair? No, it's not hair. It's still my chemical peel doing its thing. So you're going to notice throughout this video that I do have this here. It's just a part of my chemical peel doing its thing. Okay? All right, back to the video. So first things first, the surgeon that I chose to go to, his name is Dr. Opoku. I'll probably put it across the screen so you can get the proper spelling of it. But I went to Dr. Opoku. I learned of him because I am in a Facebook group for plus size surgery, plus size cosmetic surgery groups. And a lot of those girls in there, they post up surgeons, you know, around the world who do work on plus size women. Because like I mentioned before, a lot of surgeons won't operate on plus size women because they feel as though it's a risk. But then you have other surgeons who understand that everyone is different, and like I said, just because you're plus size does not necessarily mean that you're unhealthy. So thank God for those surgeons who, you know, specialize in plus size women. So yeah, I came across Dr. Opoku in one of those groups, and I have been doing my research for a while. I went to go check out his page. There were a couple other doctors that I had in mind. One who was actually a lot closer to me, and I went through with consultations and everything with her. Just wasn't really feeling the vibe, and then I, you know, read some reviews about her that I didn't particularly care for. So I passed up on that. But Dr. Opoku seemed like he's the guy that I wanted to really go to, and he was one of the few surgeons that I noticed that offered back lifts, because the few consultations that I had gone to before him, all of the surgeons had told me that they could do liposuction on my back, but that I would still have rolls. And I'm like, well, that kind of defeats the purpose. But I saw that Dr. Opoku offered an entire back lift. So after studying and researching him and watching him for a while, I decided he was the one that I wanted to go with. Plus, he's based out of Pennsylvania, so that was a lot closer. I knew I wouldn't have to take a plane or anything. I could drive there, as I did. So, yeah, I scheduled my appointment. I scheduled my surgery with him. Initially, it was supposed to be in August, but something happened, and I had to, on their end, I had to change my surgery date to September the 8th, 2025. So let's not waste any more time. Let's get straight into it. So when I first woke up from surgery, I had the shakes really bad. Like, I was shaking uncontrollably. I don't know exactly why. I'm just assuming maybe that was my body's reaction to the trauma it had just endured during surgery. But I was shaking real bad. And you know, when you first come out of surgery, you're still under the anesthesia. You're not fully coherent yet. So you're not really aware of what's going on. But I do recall my sister, she came in. I think she was already there. And I just had the shakes really bad, maybe for about a good 5 to 7 minutes. I had the shakes really bad. They said my surgery was about 5 hours. And when I woke up, I do recall having a very dry mouth, because they put the tube down your throat. So my throat was a little scratchy. I really didn't have much of a voice when I first woke up. Like, I was basically like whispering when I first woke up. And I just recall asking for something to drink, and they kept giving me ginger ale, which was perfect because that's my favorite. If I'm gonna drink a soda, more than likely it's gonna be ginger ale. So they gave me the ginger ale and was just talking to me, I guess, you know, until I finally came to. So that was that. I really wasn't in a lot of pain. You know, I guess the medication was still, you know, in me very strong. They gave me something called Exparel. I believe I'm saying it wrong. I had the thing on my wrist, but it fell off the other day. I think that's an additional pain injection or something, and it's optional. You don't have to take it. I don't recall agreeing to it, because I don't even recall anyone bringing it to my attention that it was an option, but clearly they knew, you know, whoever thought it was a good idea to give it to me, I'm glad they did, because I really didn't feel any pain. I just felt really tight. And at that moment, that was really it. I just felt really tight. You know, I didn't really feel any pain. So came to, like I said, my sister was there. I got into my truck. And I was okay. I was okay. Like like I said, I still wasn't in any pain, just really tight. I don't want to get up now because I don't have any undies on, sorry. But, I have a pillow that I had to like kind of, cover my stomach. I didn't even use the seatbelt, but just to kind of give me something against my stomach. Um, that helped, during the car ride back to the hotel. So, yeah, we get back to the hotel and he prescribed me oxycodone. The first night I didn't care for the oxycodone, which I don't see how people can take that stuff leisurely or, casually, or I don't get it, because for me, like when I first took it, it made me really nauseous. And, I mean, of course that passed, but it made me really nauseous and really drowsy. I know drowsiness is a symptom, so that's something that you actually want so that you can rest. So the first night on oxycodone, once the nausea passed, it was okay. Believe it or not, that first night, I really think it had to do with that Exparel. I really did not feel bad at all. I remember my sister, she had cooked. She asked me if I wanted anything in particular to eat. There was this creamy chicken noodle soup recipe that I saw on TikTok. And she made that for me. It was so good. I did make sure that when I first got back to the hotel that I walked, did a couple laps around the room. Because they tell you that that's very important. You're going to need like compression socks, and they want you to walk. They don't want you to just come back and get straight into bed. Like, you need to walk to prevent blood clots. They also gave me, had prescribed me a medication. I forgot what it's called, but it was like in a pill bottle, but it was like 4 or 5, syringes for, they were blood thinners. And my sister, she gave them to me, gave me the shot in my thigh. That was also to help lessen the likelihood of a blood clot forming. So, yeah, the first day, it was fine. Like, I didn't even feel like I had just had surgery. I mean, I did, but, the type of surgery that I had, you would expect that I would have been really uncomfortable and really, but like I said, outside of the tightness, I was okay. I was up talking, she made the food. I had an appetite. I know, some people, they lose their appetites when they have all of that pain medication into them or the anesthesia, but not me. I was hungry. I woke up hungry because I hadn't eaten anything since 12 o'clock the night before, so I was hungry. So she had made that soup, which was perfect. And, we were up, FaceTiming people and just talking and having a good time. So that was that. First night was fine. Honestly, the entire week was not bad at all. It really wasn't. I think by maybe day 3 or day 4, believe it or not, the oxycodones, they weren't really working the same. Like, I wasn't able to really fall asleep. It wasn't making me drowsy anymore. It was relieving some of the pain, but and the only types of pain that I was having was trying to get up out the bed and walk around. Like I said, the tightness, it just felt like it feels like your body's just pulling against itself. You will be constipated the first couple days. I tried the Ducalax tablets the first few nights. That didn't work. So my sister went and got me the Ducalax. It was a bottle, the liquid form of the Ducalax. Now that helped. That definitely helped. So I say I was probably constipated the first 3 days. After that, we had movement, and it was moving ever since. Okay. So with most of the people that I watched as I was researching, all of this stuff and, trying to figure out what to expect, most of them, if not all, out of the first 5 days post-op, they usually all had 1 or 2 days out of those 5 days where they said it was just like the worst. For me, that was day 2, but it was my fault because after the nausea and just the dis-ease I felt with the oxycodone after that first night, I didn't take it as prescribed. And I felt it the second night. The second day. I just felt extremely swollen. They give you a binder to kind of keep you tight. I just felt like I was just bursting out of the binder. Like, it was a really bad feeling. Like, I didn't like it at all. And even my sister had noticed that my whole demeanor was just different on day 2. But after that, I got back on the oxycodones as prescribed, and things got better for me, thank God. So yeah, day 2 was the only day that was a little tough. Now, let me tell you, If you're going to have this surgery, it is a must for you to have someone with you during that first week. At least. If you can get them for a second week, even better. But you are going to need, and I'm an independent person, so I'm always thinking I can do it. No, you are going to need someone to be with you for that first week, because my sister, let me tell you, she was a godsend. She is a godsend. You really can't do anything that first week. Like, even down to the little things as getting in and out of the bed. Once you get in the bed, you have to lay on your back. And I'll post the tummy tuck bedding set that I got off of Amazon. That was so helpful. But once you get in bed, it's like you can't really move. You have to stay on your back. And you just have to stay in that position and all night long. And me, I'm a side sleeper. I'm a belly sleeper. So that was a challenge for me, but I was able to do it. But let me tell you, the reason why I say my sister is a godsend, because when you find somebody that is willing to wipe your ass, baby, you hold on to them. Because my sister was willing and able and had no problems in wiping my ass. And I fought tooth and nail in that bathroom. I was twisting and turning, trying to reach around to my ass to try to, because I didn't want to have her do that. Even though I knew that she knew that it was a possibility that she would have to do that, and she was willing. You know, she had both gloves and everything. Like, she was totally prepared for the job. Which, side note, she and I was talking. I told her that she should consider doing this on the side. So any girls out there in the area, or even not in the area, if you need a post-op nurse, let me know, and I'll connect you with her. You know, she can tell you her rates or whatever, because she was excellent at this. Like, seriously, she had already bought just little prep items that she felt she would need to make sure that she, wouldn't cause any type of infections or anything. Like, she was on it. She was really on it. So she's perfect for that. So yeah, first week, you're going to have someone with you to do everything basically for you, because you're going to be immobile for that first week. So a couple of other essential items, besides the bedding, the tummy tuck bedding that you're going to need, which is, like I said, is so important. I don't think pillows are enough. I mean, you can add pillows to that, but you have to have something stable that's going to keep you sitting upright, because you're going to have to learn to sleep that way and basically be poised that way the entire time. Well, that first week at least, while you're recovering. Number 2, a godsend. I'm telling you. It was so essential to my just being comfortable, being able to sleep. Yeah, get you one of those. Get you a pillow. Now, this thing, yeah. Like I said, if you don't want somebody wiping your ass, you're going to have to get one of these, okay? And basically what it is, I don't use tissue. I use wipes. You just pretty much wipe it, wrap the wipe around there, and stuff it in so that it's secure, and you're going to have to wipe yourself that way. That has been very essential too, because after my sister, after the first week, my sister went back, to doing her thing. So I needed to be able to still wipe my ass and, be able to be sanitary. So that definitely helped. Thank God I'm at the point right now. And if you're only getting a tummy tuck, you may not have that issue. I don't know. But I think because I got the tummy tuck and the back lift, my mobility and range of motion with my arms was very much limited that first week. I'm starting to get some mobility back now. I'm able to reach around to my ass now. But that first week, yeah, I couldn't do it. So let's see. The rest of the week was pretty good. It was pretty good. I don't recall having any major moments that really stick out. I got a lot of rest, as much as I possibly could, even though I told you after the first couple days, the oxycodones, they weren't causing me to be drowsy anymore. So, like, the last 2 nights at the hotel, I remember being up most of the night, but then I would, get sleepy towards, 5, 6 in the morning, I would just take naps whenever I could. But outside of that, everything was very smooth. And today for me is day 8, and things are a lot better now. Like I said, I'm getting my mobility back. I'm still walking a little, just a tad bit hunched over. But it's like every day I'm getting straighter and straighter as far as, how I stand. I don't really need the cane as much as I did before. What else? Of course, I've been sleeping a lot better since I've gotten back home, so I'm thankful for that. I should have probably wrote everything down. I'm just kind of winging it. So I have my first massage set for this upcoming Friday, and I'm going to be getting my faja this Friday as well. I still have my drains in, but I think by the end of this week, I should probably be able to take them out because my surgeon said once the drains get below 30, and this is the cup that you have to empty the drains in, and then you probably can't see it, but the numbers are on the bottom. 70 is up here, 50 is right here, 30 is down there. So he was saying once it gets once it get at 30 or below 30 for 2 consecutive days, then I'm able to take the drains out, which I'm really looking forward to. They aren't really they don't really cause me that much, discomfort, but I'm just ready to get them out. So I'm not going to insert pictures in this vlog, but let me tell you, I am more than satisfied with the job that Dr. Opoku did. I was a little concerned because the doctors that I had went to before, well, one in particular that I had gone to before, she told me to lose 50 pounds before having the surgery because she said that I had visceral fat in my stomach, and basically said if she did the surgery that my stomach wouldn't be entirely flat because of the visceral fat. So I was afraid about that. But turns out, I guess she didn't know what she was talking about because Dr. Opoku snapped. Like, my stomach is literally flat. My sides coming, I already had a great foundation. So it didn't take much for that to really, come out and pop. But he did his big one. Like, my shape is carrying right now, okay? I'll probably show y'all the before and after and where I am right now in next week's vlog because I want to devote one day a week to, a vlog based on my recovery. So next week I'll show you the before and after photos. But let me tell you, Opoku did his thing. And it's funny because before I even had the surgery, I would do what we in the spiritual community call mirror work. Basically, I would stand in the mirror and just say how much I loved my results. Even before I had the surgery, I would just be in the mirror and be like, I love my results. Oh my gosh, like I love my results. And that clearly worked because he went above and beyond my expectations. Like, I am extremely pleased with what he did. The entire process was just very nice. The people at the surgery centers, everyone was just extremely nice. The whole process was just, it was smooth. It was great. I really have no complaints. So if you're a plus size woman or man and you are looking to have a surgery similar to mine, I would definitely recommend Dr. Opoku. He really did his thing. So, yeah, I'm excited. Like I said, I have my first massage set up for Friday. That's going to help reduce the swelling. And that's another thing. My body looks so good now, even before the massages. I know once I start my massages and the swelling goes down, it's just going to get better and better and better. So this was really a good decision for me to make. Now, as far as price-wise, I don't know what he would charge you because I don't know what you're looking to get. I don't know if you want to get exactly what I got. Maybe you just want a tummy tuck. I don't know. He does BBLs and all of that. I didn't get a BBL. I got a lot of ass as it is. So I didn't need a BBL. But I would say to have at least between 15 and 20K put aside. And that's not just for the surgery. That's for your recovery. That's for the things that you're going to need. That's for the post-op massages. Everything for you to really be able to do, do this comfortably. I would say 15 to 20K is to the side. And some people might say, why you want to spend our money on that? You could have put money to it. Listen, don't let nobody make you feel no kind of way about doing what you want to do. It's your money. Do what you want to do, And listen, this is money well spent. I would do it all over again if I had to. It was really, 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 really a really good decision to make. And I'm very pleased with the choice that I made to go to Dr. Opoku. So, yeah. Again, if you're looking to go to a surgeon that works on plus size women and does an excellent job, I will post this information up for you all. You can go check them out. Let them know I sent you. And I believe that is all for this vlog. Let me think. My doctor, he recommended that you wait at least a week, because see, what happens is if you go too early, you don't allow, because they actually cut your stomach open and like flip it back. So they like separating your, top layer of stomach from your actual abdominal cavity. So you need to give time for those two to reconnect again, reconnect before you start mashing around and getting massages. That could actually cause seromas and, different complications that you don't want. So, like I said, my first massage would be on, I think, day 11 post-op. And that's good, because I can tell that my top layer of my stomach and my abdominal cavity, sorry, that's my cat. I feel like they have reconnected, like just in small things. It's like coughing and stuff like that. It's not as painful as it was in the earlier days. So, yeah, don't rush to get that massage. Give yourself at least a week. I know sometimes they try to tell you that the earlier you get it, the better your results. But actually, no. The earlier that you go to get a massage, the higher your risk for complications. So, just take your time, rest, relax, allow your body to, come back together again. And then go get your massages and, getting your fajas and all of that stuff. Also, early on, don't compress too tightly around that area. You want to give it air and give it time to, breathe and just come back together again. The doctors are going to give you a binder. Just wear the abdominal binder for the first at least week or so. And then I would advise you to go get the massages after that for best result. Okay, so I'm going to leave here. Like I said, if there's anything else that I can think of, I'll just quickly insert it back. But that's it for now. So if you have any questions, leave a comment and I will absolutely respond to them. Okay, so thank you for watching, and until next time, bye. Oh, one more thing. I knew that was going to happen. If you are a plus size woman, make sure that you are at a weight, at a size that that you can comfortably maintain, right? Me, per se, I'm a thick girl, right? I'm okay with my size. As a matter of fact, I have a picture in my head of how I want to look. And having this surgery has definitely manifested what I had in my mind. I like being thick. I like being a big girl. This is the size I know I can maintain easily. I don't want to be slim. Nothing against the slim girls, But like I said prior in another vlog, it's not for everybody. So I love being a big luscious girl. I do. I just wanted that snatched waist. To me, that is beautiful. Like a full figured woman with a small waist, that is beautiful to me. And that's what I wanted. And that's what I got. So, but they do recommend that if you plan on losing weight, if your goal is to lose more weight, lose the weight first and then have the surgery. But for me, I'm good here. Like as far as weight, like do I want to tone certain areas? Sure. But those areas have nothing to do with my midsection. I'm good here, where I am as far as my weight, my size. So that's why I decided to do it now. But like I said, if you have intentions on losing weight, especially if you plan on losing a lot of weight, then I would suggest that you wait before you get a tummy tuck, because if you get a tummy tuck and then decide to lose a lot of weight, you might have to go get a second tummy tuck. And yeah, you ain't going. So that's something else I wanted to insert. So I think that's it this time. So I'm gonna go. Have a good one. Till next time. Bye.